I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, what's up?
Sam Healey, hello.
Woo! Gen Con.
What now?
I'm excited.
Who's going where?
To Gen Con. Okay, so we're going to be at Gen Con this year, and we want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing, and maybe if you've never gone before, we can give you some tips about going to Gen Con. Gen Con is bigger than ever. It's held in Indianapolis, Indiana, every year, and usually at the end of July or beginning of August. This year, the very beginning of August.
Yep.
We have a booth there this year, 2821.
I'm taking notes.
Now, our booth is a little bigger than last year. We have a 10 by 20, and we're on a corner. So there's several reasons we want you to come by the booth. The number one reason we want you to come by the booth is so you can say hi. If you're not sure, we're going to put a schedule up. There's going to be lots of our different podcasts that will be there from the network. If you're looking for us and or Eric, we will almost always be there the first hour when the exhibit hall opens, which is usually 10 o'clock. And we'll be there the last hour from 5 to 6. So if you're looking for us, those are the 2 hours you know that we'll be there. Unless, of course, things can happen. And we'll be there scattered throughout the day. So you can always come by and say hi to us at different spots. If you see us outside the booth, certainly stop us and say hi. Unless you see us carrying a big pile of games, then wait till we put the games down.
Right.
Or if we're crossing a street, what are my caps here? If we're crossing a street,
Don't stop me in
don't
the middle of
stop
the
and
street.
pitch a game. But other than that, I mean, like if you're like in a booth next to a restaurant, don't feel like, oh, I can't talk to these guys. You can say hi, okay?
Yeah,
It's not.
absolutely.
We're not like in our own zone. We're not having
Nope.
secret meetings. If you're having a secret meeting at Gen Con, you go do it in a secret place. You don't just do it right out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So also, we're gonna have promos at our booth. By promos, I mean promos, okay? We got the new King of Tokyo monster. We got Healey, not this one, the cool one, the little
Wow.
figure.
Yes, for Blood Rage.
Not this one.
Exactly.
We got Dice Tower bags, and we got the card money. We got Dice Towers and dice. It's going to be exciting. And if you want to support Dice Tower, it's a good way to do that and get some cool stuff. But even if you don't want to do that,
What?
You didn't say him.
Oh, my
yeah, Zee's
will
figure will be there,
well.
too.
Why'd you throw him under the bus
and more
like
Tom
that?
Ricks from Arcadia Quest. Tom Ricks and Healey's.
And Garcia's.
Whatever, people are going to come by for the King of Tokyo monster. But here's the deal.
true.
Look, let's say you don't want to spend any money. That is perfectly fine. Come by and say
Absolutely.
hi to us, okay?
Yeah.
And just, it's a good time. So
Yeah.
we also have a live show there. We have two shows. I'm doing one show on Thursday at 3, I think, that's about do's and don'ts of podcasting. I'm doing that with Rodney Smith and Jamie Kagi from Secret Cabal. And that's just, if you want to get into podcasting, we have tips and things and video casts.
It's cool.
Our big show is Friday at 1 o'clock. Now, at the time of us recording this, there's like 300 tickets left for it out of 1,200, so it's 75% full. I think we'll use percentages. That sounds good. But without going into too many details, I would not miss this show. There's some cool stuff going to go on there.
Yeah.
And you'll see some things that it's going to be a little bit similar to previous shows, but a little bit different than our previous shows too. Hopefully it all goes well. So you can get tickets for that online, but if you're there and there's space, generic tickets will get you in also. So we've already done a 5-part series on all the games we're looking forward to from Gen Con. So
Exciting.
there's that. What else are you looking forward to at the convention besides the games?
I guess I am looking forward to announcements, upcoming announcements, what's left for the rest of the year. So far, it's been a cool year. It's about to be a much cooler year in like a week from us recording this because we'll be at Gen Con.
Yeah, every year people say, man, this year doesn't seem to have many good games. I'm like, always wait till after Gen Con.
Yeah, every
Then
year.
tell me that.
Gaming, the way it works, is just backloaded every year. But I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming out, I'm excited for that, and I'm just excited for that atmosphere. I love Gen Con. It's one of my favorite conventions, and I can't wait to get in that dealer's hall and just walk around, sort of take it all
It's
in.
amazing.
Love
There
that.
is another 50 new booths in the convention hall from last year. That is mind-blowing. I mean, last year, it literally took me a couple days to see everything, and I'm not even sure I saw everything.
Sure.
Well, they've kind of hemorrhaged into, what was it, Hall D there? And
That was a good use of that word, but a gross use of that word.
well, I mean, that's what happened. I mean, they've spilled out into Hall D there, and so where the Magic the Gathering, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of CCGs there.
CCGs were out there. That's
Yes.
going to be all exhibitor hall now.
Yes.
So it just kind of pushed its way out there. So that's
So
cool.
if you're looking for us, you want to come straight down that big hall, and that goes into the new section of the exhibitor hall. That's where we are. We're kitty corner to the Pokemon booth. So if you're like searching for Pokemon, I don't know. I would assume that they'll be at that booth.
Yeah.
One of the corners. That's where we are.
Right. Cool.
That's the other thing. That place is going to be buzzing with Pokemon Go players. And I don't mean just that booth. That convention is going to be bombarded with Pokemon Go players.
I guess.
That's going to be happening. That's going to be a huge thing.
I mean, I guess I'm not trying to say something bad about Pokemon Go, but I guess the positive thing is that you're not going to have people just stragglers, and you're going to have a badge in order to get into the hall.
Can you imagine? You get there, you're like, there's a Pokemon in there. Sir, where's your badge? Hang on, go buy a badge. Go in.
I would not put it past them. I would not put it past them.
Well, either way, yeah, that's one of the things I look forward to. I'm curious because it was already kind of taken over at Dice Tower Con a little bit when it was launched.
Yeah.
But the other thing I like this, and I'm not a huge, I don't cosplay much. I do it one time per year. But I just like seeing cool outfits sometimes and things. Like there was a cool Space Marine last year and stuff. And I like that. I just like the spectacle. I like the fact that there's a guy there who makes a big balloon thingamabob. The Card Hollow where they build all the, just if you don't know what to do at Gen Con, literally you can just walk around and look. There's people doing musical acts. There's jugglers. You never know what you're going to see.
Yeah. It's very true.
And like you can go up to the second floor and walk around up there. There's many companies that have their own game room. Rio Grande, I think Yellow, Indie Boards and Cards. I think there's several companies that have their own game room. And you just go in there and play games in a smaller thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, food is a tougher thing at Gen Con. There's food trucks. Have you ever eaten at the food trucks?
Yeah, no, I don't think I've actually ever eaten at a food truck. I'll go out there and get a drink sometimes. Like stand I just figure out which is the shortest line, because they all have drinks, Right. I'll just go stand at that line and get a drink.
Are the lines long?
The lines are pretty long typically, especially if you get on a weird schedule, it'll be better for you.
Right.
Like if you don't eat lunch when everybody else is eating lunch, it's going to be beneficial to you because you'll be able to hop out there, grab some food, eat it, hop back inside, because the lines do get pretty long.
Plus, if you do that, there will be fewer people on the inside because a good number of them will be out getting lunch.
That's true as
so
well.
it'll give you more freedom inside.
That's true as well. You probably won't feel that one because there's so many people there.
But there will be fewer.
But yes.
Now, we heard that there's a North Market style place. In Origins, we're always talking about the North Market. We found that there's one in Gen Con that's a half
Origins,
mile.
by the way.
At
North
Origins.
Market is an Origins thing.
Right. So we found that there's one here too, so another farmer's market like that. So we're going to go check that out on Tuesday when it's the easiest day to go, and we'll report back and say if that's worth going to. But there's a mall right next to it with a food court, and there's a lot of very nice restaurants, and I found the way to get in those is to make reservations.
Yeah.
Because
That would help.
so that I'm looking forward to playing games. Someone on the internet said that Vasel says you can't play games at Gen Con. You definitely can play games there. I don't play many games there because I'm very busy doing other things.
Yeah.
But it's easy to play games in that humongous hall, the Hall of Humongousness.
That's what it's called. The Hall of Humongousness.
Well, you'll know what hall I'm talking about if you go to Gen Con, right? At night, there are tons of open tables in there.
Yes.
So if you're looking for gaming, that's what I would recommend going to.
Especially at night.
You're allowed to just walk in there and game, grab a table, and start playing.
Well,
something?
there's these people who are like in charge of the tables, so you can go up to them and say, "Are any of these tables free?" And they'll say, "No one's using that table for a while." Or you can just go sit down and play. I mean, you can, like, if you see like a group of 100 tables and no one's at any of them, or there's no organized event at any of them, it's probably safe, especially later at night.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything that you wish someone had told you before you went to Gen Con?
No, not really. I mean, the thing that
Don't go to the zoo.
Special events at the zoo are not worth it. No, I guess the one bit of information that I would give anybody going to Gen Con for the first time is do not try to do everything that you want to do. you have to prioritize what you really, really, really want to do and what you're okay with not doing. Because there is so much to do at Gen Con, and it is literally a sprawling event. You will run yourself ragged and stress yourself out trying to get around to everything. Then you're going to have to battle with the hordes of people. It's not worth it. Pick things, spread them out, make sure you have plenty of time to get to them, and enjoy yourself, and don't stress yourself out. That would be the one thing I guess that I would say.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was definitely thinking the same thing, but I will say, since Sam mentioned that, I will say set yourself a budget for for what you think is appropriate. It depends on you. Obviously, it might be $300,000. I don't know, but.
I want to be your friend if that is your budget for games at Gen Con.
I would like to buy your booth. Pack it up, please.
I'll take one of everything. No, I mean, set yourself a budget because the vibe there, the energy, has that carnival feel where you get in there and there's all this mad energy and you'll see the game. You can have it right now, right? It's right there. You can buy it and walk out of here with it. And you'll be tempted to do so. Mm-hmm. So if you walk in there knowing, hey, I'm going to spend this much money on games, I'm going to put aside this much for food, and stick to those parameters, you'll have a lot less regrets as you're coming back home in a few days, Mm-hmm. I think it's just a good idea to not go in there blindly like that, especially if you've never been to a convention of this type, because there's going to be a lot of cardboard temptation there.
Yeah, very much so.
One thing I would recommend, I mean, I'm not going to say the obvious stuff that people always talk about in regards to general hygiene, but I would recommend that you bring the most comfortable pair of shoes you have. You will stand
and
way more than
teeth.
you think. You will stand way more than you think you will at Gen Con, and you'll do a ton of walking. Yeah. We were walking
That's
like
true.
12, 13 miles a day when we were there.
Average.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, I would bring a backup battery for your cell phone, because the cell phone goes out really quickly, and since it's a really good way to get in touch with other people there, that's just something I found is very handy.
Yeah.
I found at almost every convention my battery runs out if I'm not careful. Other than that, I would make a adjustable plan. Sam, like, this is what I'm planning to do, but if it changes, if I see something cool, I give myself the freedom to say, I'll go over here and do this.
Correct.
And there's a lot of cool shows. We mentioned our show, and we want people to come out, but there's a lot of cool shows and events and things to go to. So look at the schedule. There's a billion things to play. And always ask at the counter, is this on Kickstarter now? Because there's a lot of games that will be.
Right.
So you might, some people are really interested in that, but if you're looking for games now, I would ask that question up front, because you would be surprised how many stuff there is pre-Kickstarter.
Yeah.
There's a church service again?
Yeah, the church service is 9 o'clock Sunday morning. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it, except I know who the speaker is, which is me. I think. I should double check on that, actually.
Cool.
So there's a lot coming on. Like I said, we're going to put up a schedule on our website or on Board Game Geek on our guilds there that says these are the different podcasts will be there. We'll also tell you when we will be there. But again, take all that with a somewhat grain of salt, because there's always something, I have to go meet someone here, do something.
Yeah.
But there will always be somebody from the Dice Tower there. And many of our contributors will be there. We got Rob Oren, Jason, Chaz Marler, Rob Searing, Derek, our audio guy, will be there. We have a lot of different people who are going to be there. And the Seer Cabal, Blue Peg, Pink Peg, Rolling Dice Taking Names, Board Games Anonymous. I'm going to miss them, so I better stop now. But the many different podcasts will be there. Jeff Engelstein. So we want you to come by the booth and say hi to us. And we hope that you have a fantastic time. It's the best 4 days in gaming, they call it. It's the best 4 days in seeing people. But it's a lot of fun. We hope to see you there. Remember, booth 2821.
2821.
Come by, say hey.
Stay on for a second.